Hi, my name is Bracha Krohn. I am the Menahelet at Midrashet Moriah. I live here in Efrat with Adi and our three kids, Asher, Leora, and Yisrael. And we have been going to Camp Stone since 1996. So this is our first time ever, not all together in Camp Stone. And it's a very sad summer for us. And we are trying to help in whatever ways we can to make sure that this indoor world experience is successful. So I would like to contribute a little bit of Torah, and hopefully you will find it meaningful, especially in these hard times that we're all living through now. In a story in this week's Parsha, we find something really, really beautiful if we pay attention to some grammar. Rav Hirsch has an amazing message for us. The story is that Bnei Israel are traveling in the Midbar now, right? And they're sick of it. They're sick of it once again. And they complain to Moshe and to Aharon. And Hashem, as a punishment this time, sends snakes, fiery serpents, some kind of poisonous snakes, and a lot of Bnei Israel start to die. And they come to Moshe and they realize that what they did was wrong. And they say to Moshe and Aaron, we're so sorry, please take this away from us, get this plague to stop. And Moshe and Aaron are able to do that by following God's instructions. Make a copper snake. Bnei Israel will look up at the snake, and then those who are injured will recuperate, will heal. And that's the story we have in Perek Kaf Aleph of this week's Parsha and Parshat Chukat. And it's an interesting story because when we look at the pasuk that talks about the punishment, the Torah tells us, Vayishalach Hashem ba'am et hanechashim asrafim. God, we would translate, sends, right? He sicks these snakes on Bnei Israel. And there are these fiery serpents. But when I look at the grammar of Vayishalach, it's not the normal form that I would think. Vayishlach. He sends, Vayishlach. Instead, it's Vayishalach. That's the PL form, not the Kal form. For those of you who had good grammar teachers in high school, that's the PL form, Vayishalach. And Rav Hirsch says that when we find that form, it doesn't mean it's sent. It means released, let go of something that we've been holding back. And he brings proof from a few psukim. I'll give you two that I think you'll remember. The first one in Breshit, when Noach is in the Teva, and the Mabul is over, and the ark lands, and it says, Vayishalach et ha'orev. Or the next pasuk, Vayishalach et ha'yonah. He sends the raven, he sends the dove to go see if there's dry land. It doesn't say, though, Vayishlach. It's Vayishalach. And Rav Hirsch says that's released because these birds were trapped in the ark, right? The windows weren't open, they couldn't get out. But now Noach opens the window and lets it out. So something that he had been holding back, he finally lets out. Same actually when Bnei Israel leave Mitzrayim. Vayihi bishalach paro et ha'am. Not Paro sent to them. Paro released them. He let them go. He hadn't let them until now. He'd been holding them back as slaves, and now he lets them go. Okay, so if I look at that here, Vayishalach Hashem ba'am et hanechashim asrafim, God released these fiery serpents, meaning they'd been there all along. God had been ki'ilu, caging them in, and now he let them go. But what snakes are we talking about? And when I see it says hanechashim asrafim, the fiery serpents, I realize we're talking about snakes that supposedly we know about, fiery snakes that are there all along, poisonous snakes that exist in the Midbar. But is there really such a thing that Bnei Israel were contending with day in and day out? It doesn't seem to be. And Rav Hirsch points us to the telling pasuk in Devarim. Later on, in Perek Chet, when Moshe is telling Bnei Israel that when you get to Eretz Yisrael and you start farming on your own and you start working on your own and you start seeing success, be careful. Don't say, Kochi v'otzem yadi asal hayet achai alazeh. Don't ever say, the strength and might of my hand is what brings me to success. We know it's about Hashem. Don't forget, right? That pasuk is filled with pentishkachat Hashem elokecha, hishamer lacha, pentishkachat Hashem elokecha. We have the mitzvah of benching there, that we remember after we eat that Hashem was the one who gave us food. Maybe not manna from the heavens, but food from the ground, which is just as much a miracle when you think about it. So the pasuk there reads in Perek Chet, this is in Devarim, Perek Chet, pasuk will start in Yudalit. Viram levavecha, your heart will grow haughty. That's what God is warning us about, or Moshe, the Navi. V'shachachta et Hashem elokecha hamotziacha me'eretz Mitzrayim. You're going to forget Hashem, who took you out of Mitzrayim. Hamolichacha bamidbar, who took you out and brought you through the midbar. Hamolichacha, he led you, he walked you through the desert. Hagadol v'hanorah, this huge desert, this terrifying desert. Nachash saraf ve'akrav, a desert full of snakes and scorpions and serpents. V'tzimaon ashrein mayim, and thirst. There's no water in the desert. Hamotzi lacha mayim mitzorach halamish. God brought water forth out of a rock, right? God gave us water from a rock, which was a crazy miracle. And God made man fall. Hama'achil chaman bamidbar. Okay? God gave us man. God gave us water. God protected us in a desert that was full of snakes. So now I understand why our pasuk in Bamidbar is saying God released the snakes. These were snakes that God had always been protecting us from, but we never appreciated it. So God let us see. You think God's not here? You think God's not taking care of you? You're going to complain? Where is God? God has to show us. And for me, this kind of story I've been thinking about because, again, not knowing why God does what he does and why things happen, but the lesson that I'm taking away from this time that we've had in this pandemic and feeling the humility of not having a vaccine yet and working hard to try to overcome this. It makes me think about how God usually does have our backs when it comes to many, many viruses and infections. And often we might think that it's us, that it's our health, that it's our vaccines. And at the end of the day, this tkufa, this whole story here of the pandemic is reminding us that Hashem is behind all of that health and all of that protection constantly. And when we do come up with this vaccine and we do overcome this virus, we have to make sure not to say, Kochi va'otzem yadi, asali et hachayil hazeh. We have to make sure to thank God, be humble, realize that the crisis is over and God is extending a hand and helping us out of it. And may we always be able to see God's help and protection. And I hope we all have a great, great summer, grow in whatever ways we can. I know we're all going to miss our Boker Tov Sugar Grove, but I hope we all have a Kites Tov Sugar Grove.